This is your daily market recap for Monday, March 14th, 2022. Let's go. This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is my stock, Bitcoin, gold, and silver daily market recaps. Please subscribe if you like what you see. Thank you.
This is Dan Max at EXP Realty, aka the Trading Agent, and this is your daily market recap for Monday, March 14th, 2022. Time is flying. Let's start in the Discord room as always. If you're not a member, the link is in the description below. Might want to check it out. We're always talking about the markets. If you have questions about particular stocks or what's going on, or just interested in learning more, tons of side rooms here with information to learn how to trade, to get better at trading, understand the formations. We're here to help, or at least I am. I know my friends here as well, but there's a lot to learn. Markets move. And if you don't understand why they move, just trust me, there is repeating patterns on all time frames. Everything's the same. It's just when things happen. And on that confusing note, let's start on what I always consider the Bible of my market activity is all based upon is the Stock Trader's Almanac. Again, if you don't understand fund flows, you don't understand how the market works, you don't understand why things happen the way they do, well, guess what? Just like seasons and weather, somewhat predictable, that's how the markets are. Again, not every day is predictable. You can't say every March 14th the market's going to be down, but when you look at the Stock Trader's Almanac, you see it's triple witching OPEX. The beginning of the week has typically been down. It has been down, what, 24 last 34 times. And some of the worst days and weeks of the years can happen. Well, the market was down today. Am I surprised? No. Also, we're going to move into, again, if you're not following me on Twitter too, I post in here and I post on Twitter what I think is going on. You know, people have questions about particular stocks. You know, I'm going to have to draw some things live because this is not my trading computer. But if you want to review some of the trade setups that we talked about, looking for pullbacks this week in certain names, they're all in on my Twitter feed if you don't want to get that far into the video. On that note, let's get into it. Bitcoin. Not going to say what I always say, but I am. Know your levels. We've talked about 45,000, 35,000 area. Everything in between it is just noise. You can buy the low end of the range, sell the high end of the range, or just buy the low and know your stops, know the potential. Again, when you zoom out on this chart, no, I don't want ads for TradeView. We have broke the downtrend, but that doesn't mean you can't go sideways for as long as it needs. I honestly, you know, when I zoom out sometimes, let's see if I can see it. I think 30,000 could be in play at some point. Now, I apologize for the messy chart. It's the same chart. This is why I hate TradingView and most trade platforms. Like, the charts replicate all your crap from an hourly chart to a monthly chart. Like, that's why Q charts is the shit. You can have your own separate charts with pretty simply within the software. But sorry to divert back to trading. At this point, it's just in a range. I can't really tell you what's going to happen next. I can say you can buy low end of range, you can sell the high end of range. However, if you're a long-term investor in Bitcoin, I think you need to know 30,000 is in play at some point potentially. When, where, what date, I don't know. Know your levels, know what you're going to do accordingly when they act. All right. If you watched any of the market recaps over the last any point in time, what have we talked about? The bond market, TLT. What are interest rates doing? Well, let's draw the charts that are not updated. I guess they kind of are. This is the big problem with the TLT today, and here's the weekly chart. This range from 135 to 133, we broke. Now, what is the first thing I'm going to say at this moment to kind of, you know, make sure people pay attention to at this point? Well, guess what? The FOMC is coming. It's triple option, quad witching, whatever, OPEX. A lot of stuff is going on behind the scenes in the market. One of the things that I'd be on lookout for is a bear trap. And bear trap meaning rates would go lower if this pops. Keep in mind, TLT is inverse. As I always tell people, this is the most liquid bond fund in the world that follows treasuries. I follow it because following the actual treasury market, I'm not a mortgage broker. I don't have the actual capacity to do that. I guess I could do it if I had Bloomberg Terminal or something else, but it's not worth it. I can just use the TLT. It's very simple. And so at this point, breaking here is a red alert, absolute red alert. We gap down. as you can see on the daily now, below the range lows, close at the lows. All right, the straight line move can usually precede the reversal. Here's a straight line move. That was a reversal. However, breaking these levels is key. So you just have now this is what can be so hard about breakouts and breakdowns. When the Fed meeting, if this was Thursday, I would think it's more likely to continue going lower. But the Feds haven't spoke, so we don't know. So that uncertainty is pricing in. Keep in mind, if you look at 155, I mean, the bond market has priced in about, let's see if I can find it, like 75 basis point rate hike. Let's just pull, I mean, this is going to be a long one since this is Monday and it's, you know, a lot going on this week. Let's look at it. So when you go look at the bonds on CNBC, this is, I mean, the simplest way to look at the bond rates. The 10-year, if you look at this, now again, that was the 30-year TLT, but just keep in mind, all bonds, it's just, we're looking at general direction. Come on. Since November's low, 134 to 214. Do the math there. That's about a 75 basis point rate hike. That's that's 3 rate hikes priced in. So this market has priced in 3 rate hikes. What happens on Wednesday if they don't raise 3 times, like 75 basis points? Does the market rally back? These are questions you have to be aware of. So the market might be pricing in the worst case scenario. That's why I'm not surprised if the market drops in front of this meeting, and everything probably will drop, because if the Feds actually raise 75 basis points, the market would probably freak the fuck out. Excuse my language, but that's the reality. So is it priced in? Be aware. Is this a bear trap? My tendency is to think that it is. The market will drop, but will pop back and rates will go lower in time. That's my thesis of sticking to it. I could be wrong. If I am wrong, please make fun of me. I don't care. I'm human. I am wrong at times. I do not know anything for sure. I'm trading probabilities. But that's what my mindset says, to be a contrarian. Because if everyone who's selling down here is freaking out about higher interest rates, what happens when they don't raise 75 basis points on Wednesday? Which they probably won't. It's priced into 25. That's the 100% guarantee is 25. Everything after that, who knows? Sorry for the rant about interest rates, but if you're not paying attention, you're just watching the market in a vacuum, you have no clue what the fuck is going on, and that's a problem. TLT back at range highs. We talk about breaking out of this channel. Oh, I got to zoom back really. You can see why this zone right here is important. It's old support, it's old resistance. That is just, you got to see it on the monthly. It's got to be there. Yeah, it's the top of the blue zone. You can see it. Will the dollar break out? Anything is possible. The VIX, man, if you're following this channel, you're loving the action, because what did I say? Watch the 20-day. We closed on Friday above it, and notice we went lower. VIX went higher, market went lower. Not surprised. Now, what have I said? If you're paying attention, I'm going to draw it for you, because there's going to be a lot of drawing today, because I got to update these charts. They're not, again, this is my trading platform. Is it possible the VIX spikes to 44, 43 later this week? Is that the top of the channel? Again, if you're watching these videos and you're this far, you're loving this content, because it's giving you an opportunity to see what's going on here. And if you're just watching the first minute or two, you're missing out. If you're here at this point, slap a like and drop a comment. I love feedback and just talking to people about this stuff. I would not be surprised if the VIX does that. If you're holding an upper trend, watch, at worst, you watch like the 39 to 38, 37 level. If we get over that, I can bet you with high certainty, again, this is a probability game, that we're going to get up there. And does that take the SPY down to 400? Let's check out why we would say something like 400. Now, again, I apologize. The videos are going to be a little longer. Notice we're at the wedge lows. What is 400? It's an old fib. Zoom out, old resistance area. Oh, that's a little too far. It's just a big round number. You have to remember, maybe it's easier to see on the weekly. The market reacts to big round numbers, but it also reacts to moving averages and the fibs. And so at this point, we're going to do a little redrawing today. So this is good for people who need to see how you draw things. The 400 level, even though it's not important on this monthly fib, I would not be surprised if you see there's a little gap here. There's a gap at 396, and it's a monthly gap. That's the start of a month. So we had a little gap, and I know it's Really hard to see it, but now let me open it up. There is a gap at 396. Is that in play here? Could it possible that the market retests? Maybe it's just 404. I mean, maybe it's, or 408. There is an old trend line here. There is the 20-month in play. I think that is going to hit. I think that's going to hit. Could this gap fill? Like, again, let's pull up the daily. And again, my charts can be so sloppy because the lines matter to me. I mean, if you don't understand this stuff and you're like, why are your charts so bludgeoned with shit all the time and seem messy? It's like, well, I just draw the stuff and I don't really worry about it. I know what it means. If you don't know what it means, that's on you. Don't get pissy because my charts are dirty. It just means that there's a lot of information. And so if you look at this gap here, I think that could be in play. All gaps eventually fill. And there's another one actually down here at 390. Is it possible? Anything's possible. But this is the problem with uncertainty, is that the market will price it in and you're not even thinking about it, if that's the problem. See, like the FOMC meeting is a total wild card. We don't know what they're going to do. Well, guess what? The market would rather press. The market makers probably unloaded on this pop, who knows? And now they can press it lower, getting people to puke the uncertainty. I mean, again, the uncertainty creates emotions. Uncertainty creates the ability to do things incorrectly for the retail trader. You know, they can't buy the dip here in front of the uncertainty, so they just unload. And as the prices go lower and they go lower and they go lower, people just continue selling. So that's why it's like, that's why we're selling and taking partial profits in material names on the pops last week, because psychology of doing this since the dinosaur age, I know that the uncertainty is going to scare people. And again, how would you know there's uncertainty that's going to scare people? Like, it's like, hey, we didn't break the downtrend, so assume more lower, like a retest of the lows is coming or lower lows. You have to think like that, because that uncertainty, what the Feds are going to say, and now you're going to see it on CNBC every day, all minute. Oh, Feds are going to raise. It's just going to get retail hands to puke. That's what they do. QQQ, same kind of thing. We're at this trend line. We're retesting the lows. Check the monthly out. Is it always possible that we test this old upper bound? Yeah, look at it. It's up in the upper 290s or 290s area. That's not that far off. Again, if you are not familiar with how trading works, like uncertainty loves to get priced in. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Sell the news, buy the rumor. That reverse mantra, this is how people, buy the rumor, sell the news. How people will chase, and then the news comes out, it drops. Same thing with downs. Sell the rumor, buy the news. I would not be surprised if the uncertainty spooks people into an oblivion of fear at some point. And who knows what the Feds are going to say? We don't know. That's why the next 2 days I anticipate are going to be interesting. And if the Feds say something on Wednesday to shake out the market, it could absolutely get smashed short term. The VIX could spike, and then PPT will drop some protection on the market. IWM, we're at the channel lows. Again, I'm not pulling the trigger here today, but I will be watching the 188 level. Now let's move quickly. Now again, I guess we can't really move quickly, because what did we say about commodities last week? Take some profits. Put them in your bucket. I liked gold here at 183, but did I buy it? No, because it wasn't the FOMC week. I have no clue how far they can drag gold and metals lower. You just, people just, I don't know what, in trading, sometimes, it's just full of analogies. The second mouse gets the cheese. First mouse gets the trap. And the first mouse sometimes get this cheese, but the second one is guaranteed if the first one gets the trap. I'd be watching the 20-day 180s. Like, that would be the extreme in my mind. This old channel, like this this trend line goes from way back, and it's not very clean, obviously. I think at some point it got a little cheesed up. Yeah, let's just remove it. It's clearly from an old trend. But again, 180, 178. I mean, look at the old support here. I know we're drawing straws here. We're reaching far, but I mean, you can see on the monthly, like that 178, 179 area, that's going to be support. So if you know that in mind and you listened, you pay attention, and you took some profits, you're now looking for dips. Could you buy at 182? Yeah, I mean, I guess you could, but do you want to try to get the lows? I don't know. You can do whatever you want ultimately, but that's why we never chase. You'll never see me go chasing something unless something's in a consolidation and breakout and it's been months or time has passed, I don't just chase straight line moves. I never chase this move. I just don't. You could have chased it here. Noticed you had to sell it though. 21, 27. I mean, because things back up. Same thing with SLV. I like it here around 23. I mean, I don't think there's much down. Oh God, that chart is so ugly. It's so dirty. I don't think there's a ton of downside here. Again, I would look at the 20-day. I would look at this area. I mean, it seems very obvious. That's probably going to be a buy zone. Maybe it's even down here. I'll put these out so that you can't miss them. I would be looking from 23 to 22s. I mean, just keep it simple. GDX. Man, it's going to be a long one. I apologize. But, you know, this is good education. It's good to see how the brain works here. Keep in mind, here, let's draw some fibbies. 0.382s and 20 days are lining up. Don't be surprised if tomorrow, Wednesday, man, that line just like crosses right over it. You can see it, 36, 35. That's your GDX first buy point. Let's roll quicker. Oh, man, this is going to be a long one. GDXJ, same thing, 0.382. I mean, keep in mind, these are old spots on the flip side of this. Because, again, if you look at, there's almost double tops. Notice what happens when you clean up the chart. You draw it from the bottom. Now we here. You see the 0.382. It's very, very close. We're coming into good enough for government work. Yeah, let's get into the miners, because everyone's puking the miners up, which is great, because who is retail? Like, do you think smart money is chasing this action? Now, again, long term, they might get paid off. That's not a question whether yes or no. It's probably a yes. But who chases after something goes from 45 to 64 and doesn't expect a pullback? That's dumb money getting unloaded to by the market makers. Now the market makers looking at the action going, I will buy the dip and uncover my short. 56 area. I'd put that on your radar. AG, same thing. I mean, I'd love to see this continue higher, but watch, it pulls back to the 200. I'd be watching for the 12 area. I mean, I think 12 handle long term is probably a safe buy. But again, just don't chase. You have dips. You can buy dips now. PAAS, same thing. Back at the 200-day, 20-day. Makes sense. X, I hope people pay attention, because I said when we get up to this monthly trend line, I'm going to take profits. And we hit it. We hit 34 and change. If you need to figure out why, look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 lucky charm. I mean, again, these trends should draw themselves. If they don't, then you're drawing straws. You're grasping for air. I'm not surprised the consolidation breakout. However, I kept half because I think it's still possible it could break through, considering how high it's holding up. If you see this thing at 28, I think it's a buy. I mean, do the math. 34 to 28, it's a solid pullback. 20 days should probably be in a line. Let's say 1 day, 2 days. Yeah, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll look for the 28s. I mean, do I need to do market alerts? I don't hope not. People can figure this out. VALE. Oh my. Getting back towards the channel low. And here, let's draw your next point, because I think you could break out of the channel on the low side as a trap. And again, it's all in, just so people don't think I'm just talking out of my butt. It's all here. Talked about all of this stuff. Talked about it all. It's all in, drop in the notes. What do we got for VALE? Yeah, I mean, I like it there. I mean, it's not like I'm just talking to talk. I like 50-day, 200-day convergence. Nice pop. And again, the straight line move usually gets sold. I tell you people that I never spent 16 to 21, even though it's only 5 points. That's a big percentage move. Now it pulls back. Now you're just sitting here with a straw, and it's like, there will be blood. I'd drink your milkshake. Well, guess what? People are dumping at the lows now, or not the lows, but they're dumping the pullback. CCJ talked about the same thing. Said, hey, you got into the 28s. Now it's going to back up. I would watch very closely the retest of the breakout. That is a very obvious area. Let's draw the fibs here, because it's considered a completed move for the short term, so you can draw the fibs. I apologize, it's a long video. If you don't like education, then yeah, skip this, or skip to what part you want to watch, particular stock. 0.382, it all lines up. I'm going to throw in some new names, because I really think these are names from my past that need to be watched. need to be watched because fertilizer names are, you need to grow food. You need food. They've been on fire. Wow, this chart. Oh yeah, this one did like a crazy split at some point. It's not updated. It's updated on my other chart. But what I would be watching, probably some sort of retest of the breakout. 20-day. I mean, I like CF here. If you can get it at 80 to mid 80s, I know it's ugly, but that's a good one. I mean, I like that a lot because it's acting strong. Keep in mind, like relative strength. I talk about this all the time. Relative strength matters. Like, notice how tech is acting like dog shit. You don't want to buy tech right now. Until it bottoms, and even then, it might not be. It's just not acting as well. This is a nice straight line move that's going to back up. I would look at the 20-day. I mean, you could even, let's pull up the monthly again. Man, the stock. God, oh, that's right. They changed their name. They used to be CF Industry, now like holding company. Like, yeah, they did that 5-for-1 split. I don't know why my charts don't have all this going, but I mean, I can, man, doink. Look at that. I mean, is that good enough for government work? I don't know. That's upper trend bound. Maybe buy it at 83 or maybe wait for the 70s. I don't know. Anything could get thrashed, but the stock is trading at like a 4 PE. You need to grow food. Inflation is coming and it's here. Mosaic, same thing. Good company, good balance sheet. Talking like I would love to see this thing in the mid to low 450s. Check out the monthly. Man, I don't know why any of these. I mean, keep in mind, these are all blasts from the past. These are my old stomping grounds. Some of these like commodity companies, because they went ape shit. Are we starting the ape shit move again? I think so. However, every month, every day is not going to be up. Look for the pullbacks. I'm taking notes as we speak because I have this written down. And yeah, I hope people can appreciate that. Let's move on to the laggards and the stuff that I've just been warning you to stay the hell away from. God, 21 minutes. We got to wrap this up. Low end of range. It better hold 100. If it doesn't hold 100, get the fuck out. We talked about channel bound highs. Need to hold 100. Apple, again, tech, lagging. Let's roll through these tech names. Oh, broke the 200 today. This is what could pull the market lower. I do see something that's clearly drawing itself. There is a lower channel bound here. I know it's below the 200-day, but just keep in mind it needs to hold. Let's remove these fibbies. Maybe it'll clean the chart up a little bit. This area needs a hold, or it could come right back to this, say, this trend line. Let's check out the monthly because there's always, you always need to see what's going on. Yep, 140. Hopefully, if you're an Apple holder watching this video, you're not just going to hold this forever. Keep in mind, it went ape shit. It is due to pull back. Lower lows, lower highs. That is not a bull trend. Lower high, lower high, lower high, lower low, 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 low. Keep in mind, it could get absolutely thrashed, or it could just base and go nowhere. That's what happens when tech is not popular anymore. MicroStrategy. Again, if Bitcoin's not going higher, here you go. Channel lows, keep it simple. I'm going to get rid of Rivian because I'm adding CF and Mosaic. Rivian, just whatever. Roblox, man, it's not even on my radar. I mean, it's just getting bludgeoned. Lower lows. I think at a certain point it is value. I just don't know when you want to buy the stock. I think at some point maybe you could sell puts on this stock and then harvest the premium. If you need to, exercise it, you can go with however you want. I just think 140 to 37, that's a fucking big move. And this is a company that has some value. I just don't know what the market wants to value it at short term. Yeah, we're skipping Rivian. Tesla, I mean, I've said stay the fuck away. This is going nowhere fast. I worry it's broken out of the monthly up channel. At worst, it's probably going to touch the 20-month. Just keep that in mind. Put those on your radar. Put these like areas. UTHR, this one's been holding up pretty well. We talked about this. It had its earnings. It's gotten wide and loose. I like it here. I mean, it's actually holding up pretty well. Just if you can get near the range lows, I think it's just tough to know for sure. If you're not, you could buy the breakout above the 20-day or buy the lows. Everywhere in between, good guess. Good luck. Your guess is good as mine. PENN, we've talked about it. Maybe this is holding up for March Madness. I don't know, but it's holding up. It could be worse. EXPI. Oh, I've got shares of this, and it's getting ugly. But hey, I like it here in the 20s. low 20s. We talked about it. I mean, could it hit the 50-month? Always possible. Have your stops, know your plan, know what's going on. Do not hold anything blindly. And let's end it on oil names. Are we not surprised that when Dan said last week they're a little overheated? Check out XOP. Now you can watch the 113 to 118 level. I mean, again, I'm not really chasing oil names. I really want to see big pullbacks. I don't know if the Feds could talk down. Here's the 20-day on ExxonMobil. I'm looking. I mean, I've posted this every time I talk about it. I would love to see it in the 70s, low 70s. All right, I hope this kind of stuff helps. I apologize for the long videos. I'm switching out some names. Lots going on. As you know, tech is crap. And not meaning like it's crap. It's just, I mean, the market's peaked in tech. You don't want to own them for the long run because this is always possible. And, you know, we'll end it on the Q monthly. And I don't want to scare people, but I want them to have a plan. Like, do not hold tech like it's the future always, because there was times where tech was pricing in the future in the 90s, and it went, you know, it went from 120, went to a lower low. The Qs went, I mean, they literally got crushed like 80%. And then it took a whopping, 2016. Do you want to hold for 14 years to get back to even if you were buying up here? Absolutely not. You have to have a plan, because at some point tech does come pull back to earth. Anyway, hope this helps. Please be smart. Have a plan. Hit me up if you got questions.
Thanks for watching. For more trading knowledge and insight, click on the videos on the right, and also join the Discord room. Link is in the description below. If you have any questions, please stop on by the Discord room and let's chat. Thank you.